In Strickland, how do you see that one?
But, you know, it's interesting. Payton is an all-star. Strickland is a wannabe. Strickland's coming off of a triple-double and a terrific performance, but they both have to be the catalyst for their team. And I think Rod really has to be aggressive against Gary Payton. And maybe we have to do with Rod Strickland what some other people do is get him to be personal, take these challenges personal, so that I'm not really happy playing against Gary Payton, and he gets very aggressive.
He's the drum major, as I said. Incidentally, Terry Porter activated James Edwards on the injured list. Bad burritos. He's got acute gastritis. Oh, I told you to stay away from that bad stuff. All right, you got Sean Kemp going against Dudley. You've got Mike Mathis to flip it in the air. Jimmy Clack and Woody Mayfield. Jimmy Clack from Ireland, or someplace like that. The boys down at Kells wouldn't buy that one, I'm sure. All right, the Blazers off the tip. They bring it up. Otis Thorpe is on the bench, ready to go. They'll go down to Clifford to start on Detlef Shrimp. And Buck trying to fight to keep it alive. Their number one guy is Payton, averaging 20.1, Kemp at 18.7, and Shrimp at 18.2. And they're all all-stars. 3 of them on the same team. Here's Payton on Rod. Shrimp played by Cliff Robinson.
Well, they're going to go to a post-up with Gill over James Robinson, a problem for James the entire season. And now that he's a 2-guard, he's going to see a lot of that because they got a lot of guys big and strong like Kendall Gill.
He takes it to the rack very nicely, but they knock it away. This is a very athletic Seattle team. Payton, Shrimp, and on Dudley and in and out. Not a great rebounding team, Steve. They averaged about 41 rebounds a game, and the Blazers the best in the league at 47 plus. But here's the question. If you know you're having trouble posting up James Robinson and he can't handle it defensively, why don't they rotate him and keep him on the top?
What they can do is just put more pressure on the passer, make it more difficult for them to enter the basketball rather than trying to rotate him away. At some point, he's still going to get caught down on a post, and they can't get away from him. John Kemp, quick spin, and a spectacular throwdown. Kemp has had some very good games against Buck Williams, and the new rules benefit a guy with that kind of quickness. And Buck, trying to do the bent arm thing, was not able to contain him. See if he gets the three-point play.
Buck and Dudley have had major problems trying to derail the insiders for the Seattle Supersonics. And now the Sonics with a lead of 5. 5-zip, Cliff on Shrimp. That's 6'10" on a little smaller man. Not by much, though. Here's the foul, and Buck Williams with the tip.
Cliff has had 2 good looks, and if he stays in there, eventually the ball's going to start going down. He's going to have an impact on the Sonic defense. Defensively, Portland has got to put pressure on the ball, and one of the reasons they're not a good rebounding team, they play a lot of passing games, so they're not sure when the shot comes up, James Robinson first foul.
And you saw that time where it bogged down on the ball side or the strong side. They looked back to the weak side, the opposite side where the movement was, and they made the pass.
The basket always stays the same, and if you have people going in the direction of the hoop, you're going to break down the defense. Skycam gives you a look at all 10.
Cliff, Rod, with Buck, Dudley, and Jerome trailing. Buck again on the follow. Laser 5 now within 1. 5-4. Perkins, he's 6'9". Shrimp about 6'9". Down to Kemp, who's 6'10". Tries to get it away and lays it up on top of the rack, but they say it was knocked away by Portland, so they'll give the ball back to Seattle. Gill and Payton are their guards, and they're good size, 6'5", 6'4". Shrimp, they say 6'10", a little shorter. Perkins 6'9.5", and Kemp at 6'10". That is Gary Payton, runner-up MVP in the All-Star game. He ran in behind Mitch Richmond, and they throw the ball away trying to make the entry pass. Pass by Rod, James, and Cliff. Dudley and Buck are set up on the left side of the lane. James trying to find the open man. There's Buck. Buck Williams has 6 points for Portland. All 6. And Thorpe is over there eyeballing and saying, hey, if he keeps playing like this, how am I going to get any time?
Some confusion out on top as Dudley switched off, but he didn't really have to. Now he has to try to scramble to find someone. Fortunate not to get beat on that play.
And Buck Williams with a rebound to Rod, and the Blazers a lead of 1. 6 straight. Buck trying to add a couple more to his total. James for 3. James Robinson's been shooting that 3 nicely. He is shooting 37% outside the home run line. And taking it more often and with more confidence. Payton.
That's where you have to control Payton. Don't let him break the defense down and be able to get inside. Where Payton is still not strong is shooting the jump shot on the move. He's got the standstill shot down. He's always had the drive.
You give him the lane, though, he'll slice you up like a Vegematic. There's Clifford. He misses the tray, and the rebound outlet by Sam Perkins. Kendall, Kemp, and there's Shrimp. And he overlays a little finger roll. Tries to get it back.
They're fortunate to get a jump ball out of this, you know, and Shrimp is saying, if I had that one to do again, but he tried to just aim it up there instead of just shooting it the way he normally would. So Portland's fortunate they don't see a hoop scored against him.
Dudley and Sean Kemp. 6'10", 245 pounds, a 6-year man in the league. Never played any major college ball. Did a little junior college thing for a very short time, and that was it. Shrimp.
Well, they won't miss this one. He beat everyone back, the Trailblazers, into their home run trot. You got to be aware, A, who controls the tip and who's covering your basket. In both cases, the Trailblazers went to sleep.
Siesta time, and it hurt him.
Now, this is what's hurt Portland in the past, the double team. Cliff can't hang on to that one, so it spoons out of bounds.
9-9, 7:48 to play here in the first quarter. Nice to be with you on this Friday night on our Blazer Television Network.
This double teaming of Payton really gets Portland in a bad position in terms of defending. They're rotating. The Sonics are getting shots. They haven't been burned by it yet, but eventually the Sonics are going to start going down the lane. Portland needs to stay at home on any pick-and-roll situation. Rod Strickland should be able to get through.
Against the Sonics on the other end, as Robinson misses, keep in mind that they lead the NBA in steals and have the last 2 years. And a traveling violation will turn it over. Now, as a team, they'll turn it over 16.5 times a game, but they are like number 2 in the NBA in forced turnovers, only 19 per game. Okay, here we have Clyde, Drexler, and Houston. They win at Washington tonight. Olajuwon, big night with 30. Clyde had 9 points in 40 minutes, 9 assists and 8 rebounds, and was 4 for 12. Tracy Murray, 22 minutes, 8 points. Cliff Robinson with a miss. Buck can't get the tip. So Clyde in his second night, his team wins, but just so-so. We have a timeout. Less than 7 in the quarter, and we're tied. You've got P.J. Carlesimo thinking about his new man. He has lots of game that'll get him some time.
Otis Thorpe's a great player. I just think that have we created a little bit of a logjam at 4 and 5? Yeah, to an extent. But I think when you add somebody that's that quality of player, which Otis certainly is, it's making us a better team. And our challenge is going to be to find a rotation that's going to work and make sure we can get quality minutes out of all our frontline people and to make us a better basketball team.
Snapper, you like Otis Thorpe's game?
I've always liked Otis Thorpe's game, and it will be interesting to see how they integrate him in with the team that's still struggling to find out how they're going to consistently beat their opponent. Good effort by Rod Strickland inside.
I love his game. The drum major. He's got an 11-9 Portland lead on the board with 6:46 to play here in the first quarter.
Now, where Strickland really needs to improve is really putting pressure on the ball, because that allows the Sonics to move the ball too freely. They're right now able to pass and cut without really much challenge from Portland.
You saw Kemp posting Buck. He's got a 2-inch height advantage. Rod tried to slip down from the top to help out, but it was no avail, and Kemp misses the short turnaround baby hook. On the base, Buck feeling frisky. Dudley from nowhere, laying in the weeds, ties it in close, and he's fouled on the play.
Now, Dudley's coming off his best performance of this season with 17 and 17 against the Phoenix Suns. He did a lot of it by crashing the board. This time, they give up the basket to him, and he does the right thing by trying to get back to it. It'll open with a pair of free throws.
He has improved at the line, Dudley. Much better in recent games. Made the 2 big ones on the flagrant foul by Danny Ainge in Wednesday night's game, and then came back a couple of minutes later and missed a pair. But much better, even though it looks about as awkward as a newborn giraffe. Ooh.
What do you know about giraffe?
I used to work at a zoo. Gave me a shovel every morning at 8 and said, clean it up. 13-9 Portland. Pretty good, huh?
Is there any job you haven't had?
Punch that clock and pick up that paper, babe. 13-9 Portland. James Robinson. Cliff Robinson.
Trying to get on track. Good move right there. Take the ball to the rim.
15-9. Trailblazers had lost 6 straight to this Seattle team, and part of the reason has been that Dudley has gotten in early foul trouble, and this time trying to prevent Perkins from the easy shot. Puts the hand up, but Perkins comes away with 2.
Well, one of the problems also has been that the defensive scheme. They have double teamed and they have forced Buck Williams or Dudley to be in a position to shoot the ball and then run out. Portland can't afford to have those 2 guys shooting the ball from the perimeter and expect to beat this team.
Gill, a good fake by James Robinson. Tries the jam. Picked up on the follow by Kemp. Boy, a little drop hip fake there against James Robinson, and Gill went the other way. Very nice. And it's 15-13. They scored 4 in a row and trailed by 2. Sean Kemp, their leading rebounder, at a hair over 10 a game.
Baseline is open for Cliff. Got to do is take his time and get himself set.
Forced that one. Really a tough shot with Schrempf right in his face. Payton trailing Kemp. And Clifford trailing on the play. And now they're even at 15-15. 4:37 to play here in the quarter.
We've seen the strength of Sean Kemp. We've also seen the strength of the Sonics. Rod Strickland splits the double team and will get a foul against Sam Perkins, Sean Kemp.
Now the Sonics will give up a few points even though they are a very fine defensive team. And here's the real reason why they are a good defensive team. Nate McMillan, who led the NBA in steals a year ago and is among the leaders again this year. As Schrempf will come out, they get a little smaller now. They go from 6'9 plus to 6'5.
Good quickness by Rod Strickland. Gets him into the lane, and Schrempf from the rear picks up the foul. 1 of 2, but Portland keeps the ball.
And Rod with the finish off the rebound by Buck Williams. And here they come, trailing by 1. McMillan will also fool you, even though he doesn't take a lot of shots. He'll hit that outside 3.
Well, he hits it if he's wide open. You keep some pressure on him, and Nate's going to have a tough time getting it down consistently. Fouled against Buck Williams.
Much more effective from the top than he is from the sides on that open 3. And now quickly we're going to get Buck off as Buck comes out in our first look at Otis Thorpe. Buck Williams with 2. And here comes the newest Portland Blazer and the beginning of a new era.
Period of adjustment for Otis Thorpe is really getting familiar with his teammates and the way Portland's team defense is structured. Right away, Sean Kemp blasts in and picks up a foul. Thorpe gives him that look like, hey, he initiated the contact. Now watch right here at the end of the play. The shoulder comes in.
Now, a very aggressive move by Sean Kemp there to make sure everybody, and Otis included, knew that he was the man in charge on that particular play. So a little quick baptismal here for Otis Thorpe. And the Sonics have tied the game at 16-16. Quite frankly, I think Thorpe, who is a fairly athletic guy for a man his size, will play a guy like Kemp a lot better than the problems the Blazers have faced in the past, Steve.
Well, Buck has played him fairly well. I think the rules really prevent handling Kemp as well as you could because he's got such a quickness factor.
Well, if nothing else, size alone, Thorpe is 6'10", so he evens it out a little bit there as Kendall or Sam Perkins will get the foul.
They give this foul to
McMillan.
Nate McMillan on the reach-in, but Dudley trying to get some respect as an offensive player with a little jump hook.
Well, what a night he had in Phoenix the other night. Too bad he had to foul out of the game. he would have been a major factor in the overtime. 17 points, 17 rebounds. Of course, that little friend he's got under the left eye, courtesy of Danny Ainge. And Danny Ainge will get suspended a game and fined a pretty hefty number. Got a lot of kids to support Danny. You can't afford too many of those. 18-16, a pair by Dudley. Halftime tonight, we'll visit a little bit with Peter Jacobson. 2 wins in a row on the PGA Tour. Missed by Gill, rebound by Dudley. Clear it out to Rod. Cliff, Otis.
Bad position to give Cliff the ball because he didn't have a chance to stop. Picked up a charge. He had the right idea and dropping the ball off inside.
Well, the Blazers have just picked up their 3rd turnover, and now big round for Terry Porter. First time this year. The family. And you can't help but be pleased if you're Terry Porter at this reception on his first night back. Oh, my sweet play. Sean Kemp off the pick and roll, beautifully executed, takes the lob and tips it home. And we're tied at 18-18. There's a lot of emotion here tonight. A lot of emotion. And that in itself should help the Blazers. But will it be enough? Jump hook. Almost cracked the backboard. We have a timeout. 2:50 to play in the quarter. Deuce at 18.
Passenger tires to pickup tires, performance to sport utility tires, the beefs in the popular party pack, or USDA beef right out of the freezer. The choice is yours.
Free beef, a big extra at no extra charge.
Free beef now at the Les Schwab side. Free with the tires you buy.
In America, the biggest resource we have is waste. And our dream is making something good out of a resource that other people see no value in. We had no choice but to do something very imaginative, or we'd have just been a lumber company. But I got the people, young people, that can make those dreams come true. We utilize what people throw away. It makes an affordable product. To me, that's pretty simple.
In the Portland area, people are buying more Toyotas than ever. Let's find out why.
I've had this Camry for a month, but I've had Toyota since I was 16. Hey, this is the best car on the market. When you buy a Toyota, you're getting...
Blazer Otis Thorpe is in harness tonight, and what are his immediate personal goals?
Well, right now, I just want to come in and try to blend in. I know what I'm capable of doing, and my history pretty much speaks for itself. But you got a talented team here. I can't come in saying I'm going to do certain things. I just got to try to blend in and just try to work within the system. That includes Chris Dudley.
Well, does it include Chris Dudley?
Some of my buddies.
They got into it a little bit the last time Houston was in town. And there's a foul on the play as they get the ball down to Sean Kemp. But I think that Thorpe and Dudley will get along just fine. Thorpe and Dudley, Snapper and Rudy Martzke. That's a foursome for dinner the next time they're in Portland. That ought to be a group 20-18. Blazers trailing now 21-18. And Sean Kemp is off to a nice start here tonight.
He's got 11 in the quarter, 13 in the quarter, but the problem is they don't have enough pressure on the passer, Gary Payton. Payton's able to get the ball to people inside. Rod Strickland's got to really start to cover Payton. Thorpe trying to get that one up and down, and it's Dudley staying after the ball as only Dudley can. That's a 14th foul against the Sonics.
Blazers, however, are already over the foul limit. We didn't tell you that before, but we'll try and get you up to date on that. That's Rod in the Boulevard, and the ball knocked away and saved by McMillan, but Terry Porter back there and gives that sore ankle of his a pretty good chest. Let's see how Terry responds tonight. Down to Thorpe against the double team. Strong move. Very strong move. And the one-time Providence Friar who came into the NBA as a #1 pick. 21-20 now. Seattle by 1. Perkins.
Perkins still showing the long arms and a little bit of leap. He can have a throwdown, and he surprised everyone with that one. But again, it comes with the decision making on the pick and roll. Portland is not doing a good job of either turning that back, they're letting people run free, and they're giving up hoops.
Here's Cherry trying to find a way to get a shot off. No looks to Rod, and he barely hangs on and then hits the two. 23-22, Seattle by 1.
Remember the first quarter in Tacoma Dome, the last time the Big Three had all of the points, and Portland had 35 and had a lead.
Dudley takes it away. Good defense, seals off the inside. Rod down Fifth Avenue. Inside, Thorpe, offensive foul.
Take it away.
So give him his second foul, and the Seattle lead 1. The Blazers trying to come back here to get out on top, and Harvey Grant will be coming in here momentarily with less than a minute to play here in the quarter.
So Thorpe is in and very quickly picks up 2 personal fouls, so doesn't get much time. That brings Harvey Grant into the ball game. No power people out on the floor for the Trailblazers, so that means Robinson has to pick up his rebounding.
23-22, Trailblazers trail by 1. There's Payton on the post. Good move. Dudley comes over to help. Dudley doing an excellent job defensively inside. Porter. You gotta love it. Terry Porter comes up with his first field goal of the season. And the Blazers lead by 1. Now they'll have Vincent Askew out between the rings. He just came in against Harvey Grant. He can shoot a 3.
Well, Harvey should go to Askew. You know, in this situation, players always wait. That gets them in trouble. Payton gets the rebound, gets his second field goal.
2.3 seconds remaining here in the half. Rod from midcourt. And the quarter, pardon me, and it's 25-24 Seattle.
By Sprite. This Troop to the Hoops NBA style is brought to you by Sprite. Obey your thirst. Sprite. By Payless Drugstores, because you deserve more from a drugstore. And by GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together.
All right, we start the second quarter. They will have Nate McMillan at 1 guard spot. Gary Payton posting on James Robinson on the other side. And immediately they take Robinson to the baseline, and there's Payton beating him off the dribble. They cannot afford to keep him down on the base. James Robinson with Jerome Kersey, Chris Dudley, and Harvey Grant are out there for P.J. Carlesimo. For them, they'll have Payton and Askew. They've also got the big man, Irvin Johnson, in there now. And let's see, Detlef Schrempf is also out there with Askew. This foul will go against Gary Payton. So Payton on the foul, 1 on him, 1 on the team in the second, and they lead by 3.
Go on,
That's Jerome. James Robinson through a crowd, then shoehorned it up the base, and there was Jerome for the 2. 27-26. Seattle by 1. Payton. They leave Schrempf alone, and it's easy pickings.
Pick and roll has hurt Portland since the opening minutes. They're not defending it. They're in between. That means that the guy with the ball is able to do whatever he wants. If they both go to him, the guy that screened is wide open. That's how Detlef Schrempf got his last shot.
Kemp with 13 points and a rebound was the man in the first quarter, and Terry Porter missing his field goal attempt here in the second. Here comes Schrempf. Here's McMillan spotting up outside. There's the pick and roll again. They're running it to death on either side, and they lead by 3. That's been their biggest lead of the game. Harvey Grant has 1.
George Karl, not been noted for liking to run a lot of plays, has found something that is really hurting the Trailblazers and is going to it time and time again. And they're getting good scoring opportunities, and they're putting pressure on the defense. That's what gets Schrempf to the line.
So Detlef Schrempf one of the real fine players on this team. An 84% free throw shooter. He's 52% from the floor, and he averages over 18 a game. And he misses the second, and Big Dudley pulls down that ball and gives it over here to James. Harvey Grant pops out to the side.
They got to find a way to resuscitate Harvey Grant's game at the offensive end. He's got the ability to make shots, but he is not getting enough shots, and he is not being aggressive enough in looking at the basket.
Yep, and a foul called on Nate McMillan. So McMillan has just picked up another foul. That's his third, and that's a loss for them because he is a fine contributor off the bench, particularly defensively. So Kendall Gill will be coming back in here momentarily.
Now, if you were a contributor offensively, you wouldn't quite have the same enthusiasm for you, would you?
Yeah, probably not. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. I have to be. You're an offensive guy. I can't be the same thing as you. The heck? Here, look at James. Now, here's an offensive guy. 23 points, 5 assists. You love his game. I know you do, Snaps, but we got to get him better down at the defensive end.
But he's not really being the aggressor. Anything you do defensively, as Jerome Kersey steps out of bounds, you've got to be the aggressor. You've got to initiate. James is reacting. He has the ability to be more aggressive. That's all you can ask from a defender. When you've got great offensive skills, you're still going to get beat. You take the best defender in NBA history, and you'll find out he had some numbers nailed on his head with consistency from Wilt Chamberlain. That's Bill Russell.
Like the IRS. He'll nail a few numbers on your head. In deep, there's Shrimp. Tip it in. That's Irvin Johnson. Big Irvin Johnson, a #1 pick of yesterday. He is a second-year guy. 6'11", New Orleans is where he went to school occasionally.
The difference in pick and roll here is Portland never really got the screen set.
Harvey.
Hand check Kendall Gill.
Now, that was a lazy defensive effort by Gill. And as soon as he put the hands out and made contact, he knew he was cooked. Irvin Johnson out. Sean Kemp comes in. You cannot put the hands on. You can bend the arm and give him the old forearm routine. But the new rules, as Steve has alluded to many times this year, make it difficult to defend and guard the way a lot of these fellas are used to in the past.
Now they're doubling the ball, and they're not allowing James Robinson to see a cutter. They get bailed out with an illegal defense, and what George Karl is saying is, hey, we had a double team on the ball.
Jerome and James. Harvey, Terry, and Buck Williams in the game. Dudley is out, and here's Terry. As Gill with a steal from Kendall Gill. And this is why they lead the NBA in steals, folks. They average 11.5 a game, and they led the league in steals the previous 2 seasons. You got to be aware of them.
Well, responsibility for completing the pass goes to the passer, and that ball was laid out there much like the one that Elliot Perry stole. Now the Sonics are applying a double team. Portland is trying to beat it off the dribble. They're not passing the ball. They're not cutting to the basket. Buck Williams picks up a foul.
And resorting to a lot of what we saw late in the game in Phoenix the other night, where they gave up looking for their teammates and breaking down and trying to do it alone.
Buck gets this foul against Sean Kemp. That's one of the problems for Kemp, is that he's getting to be a cluster foul guy, and he'll get 2, 3, and then he has to sit down, and he had a tremendous opening stanza with 13.
Very quiet in here. You think that you had 13,000 people watching brain surgery.
And Sean Kemp thought, hey, coach is taking me out. I mean, I got 2, I'm probably going to get the 3. But instead, it's Gary Payton that gets his first breather.
I almost feel like you have to whisper, you know? Just maybe a little guy making a 15-foot putt for an eagle. Come on, fans, you got to pick it up a little bit. Get excited. Buck Williams, and the Blazers now cut the lead to 4. 34-30. 8:42 to play here in the half. Little energy out there. They got some vitamins in this crowd.
But they probably have gotten it at home, and what you want to see it happen is here. Detlef Schrempf with a throwdown.
Well,
Buck not happy about that, because he's the guy that was reacting. But you'll watch. See, Jerome gambles out high. No pressure on the passer. That gets him beat. Buck Williams trying to get there, but can't get there in time. In order to prevent a passer from seeing that kind of a play, You've got to have pressure, make him have some doubt about throwing the ball.
And Detlef will miss, the two-time six-man award winner, who's come over here to become a starter. His wife, by the way, is an ex-hurdler on the West German track team. Well, have some fine athletic children. Terry Porter out of the corner. Buck Williams, look out, deflected. Keep those hands high defensively, young people. That's what happens when you do. And the Blazers with a takeaway. Give it to Jerome. James for a tray. Crowd trying to get loud, but it just isn't there. It's 36-33. Golden State beats Phoenix tonight. 139 to 128. Well, they were ripe the other night, and the Blazers couldn't hang on. Tonight, they had it handed to them.
Well, it was an overtime, but they stayed close. It was a high-scoring game. You know the kind that I like to watch.
The kind you like to watch with a lot of offense. That's that ABA blood you got in you. That red, white, and blue ball, where they used to score, run it up and down the floor. Get the ball to Snapper. 38-33, Trailblazers trail by 5. Sean Kemp, big night so far, 15 points. Terry Harvey.
Nice pass from Porter to Grant to get Harvey on the board.
Oh, there's that spin move back door. Harvey looked like he had a couple of gloves on that you used to handle hot pans the last time, but he did manage to hang on. 38-35. Blazers within 3. James and Terry the guard line. Robinson playing at the point. Rod on the bench. That's Jerome. Going up. How'd they know that? And he'll go to the line on the foul. We'll have a timeout. Timeout. Portland trailing the Seattle Sonics with 6:49 in the half.
Bottom of the 7th. Mattingly at bat. 1 out. Runner on 3rd. Here's the pitch. Mattingly hits it deep to right center.
I got it.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
If you take a look at some of the top teams on the road, you've got to find Seattle there. They just completed winning 10 games in a row, snapped Wednesday night by the Los Angeles Lakers. 10 road wins, which is a Seattle club record, and now for the year, 14-9. Very, very nice. This is a team with a lot of talent, Steve, but there seems to be something that isn't quite right. You have the same read?
No, I really don't. I mean, I think that this team stormed through the NBA last year. Everybody expected them to be in the finals. They did too. Got bounced in the first round, and they've been trying to psychologically recover from that. You look at their record now, it's 34-13. They're 2 games behind last year's pace. Nothing wrong with this team.
How did I know you weren't going to agree with me? That's good, though. I'm glad, because I think there's something wrong.
What do you think is wrong? Name it.
I think that they need a new Bunsen burner and a beaker that works in that chemistry lab.
Oh, you think there's something wrong with their chemistry?
Chem. Oh, Chem.
If this was a team with bad chemistry, how could it win so many games?
Jerome Kersey. He'll get another one. 38-36. I'll make sure the score is right. Officials trying to take care of a little business. 38-37. And Seattle will lead them 1. Tate McMillan. North Carolina State always have liked his game. Gill. He's an Illinois guy from the Big Ten. Loose ball call against Harvey. Harvey looks a little frustrated of late. Maybe what's happened to him at the offensive end is carrying over to the other end.
Yeah, the two, they go together. And Harvey is really a good, solid all-around player. But if his offense is off, then his temperament at the other end of the floor has also affected Shrimp on the post.
Good move by Jerome, who is smaller than Shrimp. He knocked the ball away. Here's Askew trying to work it alone. Kemp on the come-around. And he finally has one go around.
He's been playing over the top of the basket or right off the glass and has had to move out a little bit further. He's improved in his perimeter play, but that's not really his strong suit.
He and David Robinson are the only two players that are among the top 25 in the NBA in 5 major categories for their team. As James Robinson hits another 3. James has 11, and that's his 3rd 3 of the ball game.
8 1/4 as Portland bounces on top. Robinson wide open.
Here he is. Put it down, James. Bingo! He's got some electric legs, that kid. 42-38. Portland. James trying to follow Giller on that little screen they run for him. A little curl on the low side.
The travel on Kemp. He's saying he got pushed, but he was trying to power his way in. Took a big hop.
That little move would work in Tijuana. Put a hat under him. Got a little hat dance going there.
Watch him right here now. He's going to try to bull his way in right there. Now that's when he picks up the dribble and then takes a couple of extra steps.
Buck Williams, Rod Strickland, Harvey Grant, James Robinson, Jerome Kersey.
Kendall Gill gambled. This time they go back door. James Robinson ignites the Trailblazers. He's got 12 1/4 and has scored 7 straight.
And that nice little drop step, or that little drop hip move that he used that time to go back door was beautifully done. All right, now you got 6'10" over 6'7". And Kemp scoring over Jerome. 44-40. Trailblazer lead 4. Laws 6.
You can see when Portland passes the ball against the double team, they get good results. Good attempt inside by Grant, followed by Buck Williams.
And the Blazers' superiority on the boards has been the difference in this game so far in order to get them back and on top by 6.
Well, Portland knows, regardless of the complement of players, they've been able to stay with the Sonics for 3 quarters. It's always been 1 quarter, the third, that has blown them apart, and they've been able to stay with the Sonics here in the first 2. Kemp with that one, he's got 4 1/4, 17 in the first half.
46-42, the Trailblazers leading, and Buck Williams comes away with 2 and he needs 3. 48-42. That is the 3rd on Sean Kemp.
And Kemp taking a look at the big board and looking at the official and saying, you know, Mike, where did I get him? He's still taking a look at it. And, you know, the officials, they sneak a look up there as well to see whether they've kicked the call or not. But Buck Williams is going to say yes and now have a chance for a 3-point play. So Buck, who got 6 points early, now has a chance for a 3-point play, which would give him 13.
And he can see and hear footsteps with Otis Thorpe on the side. Buck wants to make sure that they realize he's still here and is doing a terrific job tonight. And he misses the free throw, but a loose ball foul called on Jerome Kersey. Oh, the Blazers now with their, let's see, is that their 4th team foul? That is their 4th team foul. The Sonics just went over the foul limit.
You look at the scoreboard, you see Portland's got 48 points. 27 of them come from Robinson and Buck Williams.
Oh, nice play inside. Irvin Johnson takes the high feed. And now it's 48-44. 48-44 Portland.
When Rod Strickland and Cliff Robinson can get into the game, Portland balances their attack and they can really hurt the Sonics coming back inside to Buck Williams.
Nice little move back door, but fouled by Irvin Johnson.
So in your estimation, you think that Otis Thorpe has rejuvenated Buck Williams?
A little bit here tonight, a little shot, and I think that's good. That's healthy. He really's done a nice job here tonight. Yeah, I do. Be like if they brought Marv Albert in here and sat him down for a couple of minutes, I'd come back all pumped up too. Because I know I'm better than Marv.
Marv will have a reply because he's got you on the big bird.
God, I'll just mess up his hair a little bit. No problem. Blazer Cable, the home stretch package. The last 10 games, $100. Oh, boy, this is good. You get to hear Snapper and myself square off and have a little fun. That deadline on that, midnight next Wednesday, the 22nd. Attaboy, huh?
The first game will be the Utah Jazz.
Yes, it will. That's Friday night.
Next Friday.
You'll be here. You're going to be leaving. You're going to leave me again to go do an NBC thing. Huh?
Would I leave you?
I hope not. But if you do, give me a little advance notice.
Trying to ask you on the post. They're going to get an illegal defense.
Illegal defense. Warning.
That's the first. You get the warning, and then the next one, the technical.
Cliff Robinson was the guy that was illegal. He was trying to get over and help, never really got over there. See if Cliff or Rod can assert themselves offensively before the intermission comes at 3:18 left in the second quarter. Trying to post Askew again.
Blazers by 6. James is calling for help and not getting it.
Well, he hooked, though. I mean, and they should take that hoop away from Askew. A little wraparound, but James has got to do a better job of getting him away from the basket. Askew's bigger and stronger, but the position too deep.
Well, it's a good thing James doesn't shoot tobacco. He'd be sucking a lot of that stuff right now. That kid there really works that gum. As Rod comes up with a pair, and he's got 7. Blazer lead again, 6.
Now, see, they can gamble off Irvin Johnson as long as they don't let him get to the basket. They trap Peyton.
Was there a little contact there, and they still come out of it with a 3? Well, the Blazers dodge a huge bullet by not having a foul call, but the Sonics find the open man, and they've got people that can spot up outside. They do a good job. 38% as a team, three-point shooting, and we have a little more than 2 minutes to play in the half.
Perkins saved them before the All-Star break with some great three-point shooting against Chicago. Kersey trying to go one-on-one with Shrimp.
PS 109. You see a lot of that out east on the asphalt. Good little spin move by Jerome. And the Blazer lead 5.
That's what can help James Robinson. He caught the ball out of bounds, but pressure on the passer, that will get it done.
What about our Payless Drugstore's first of the fourth, and tonight our contestant Tracy Davis in Lake Oswego for $1,250. Some Seattle fans here getting a little out of line? Nah, not at all. Just having a little fun. There's nothing wrong with it. Clifford Robinson will be the contestant tonight, or the shooter. We'll take 5 for station identification on the Blazers television network.
You're watching KGW, Northwest News Channel 8.
Ready, Carly? Payless Drugstore's first of the fourth tonight. Cliff Robinson, $1,250, shooting for Tracy Davis. Oh, me. 1:46 to play here in the first half. Askew posting on James. Back to an open Shrimp. There's the 3. In and out. They play the 2-man game, and they're isolating James. James calling for help and getting, but when you leave a man, you leave somebody open. And they're working the in-and-out game nicely. 54-52, the Trailblazers.
Quicker you move the ball, the better your chances are of getting a good scoring opportunity. Cliff trying to make a play for Rod Strickland, does so.
Backhand reverse with a tall arm of the law inside to try and prevent it. 56-52. Trailblazers leading by 4. Shrimp on Jerome. Perkins can shoot that deep shot now. He's one of their better three-point shooters. Irvin Johnson needed 8, got 10. Here they go, running the lanes. Rod. And over the rack and knocked out of bounds by Irvin Johnson. Oh, boy. Some pretty athletic stuff going down there. And Rod, for a moment, a little bit soft getting up, but he's going to be all right. And the Blazers with Cliff and Jerome, Buck, Rod, and James.
Rod just laid that one out there. He was thinking foul and hoping that he would also get the ball to go in. Got nothing, but Portland gets possession.
Cliff gets it in, second or 2 to spare. That's Buck. Cliff on Sam. For 3. Don't get it. Now with 33 seconds remaining in the half. Portland's lead 4. Payton Askew looking to go deep, and it's deflected. Here's Jerome. Someone's got to pick it up. Jerome couldn't, or otherwise he would have double dribbled. And so Cliff couldn't get there, and now with 16 seconds remaining, they'll work for a final shot.
But Jerome wanted to give it up to one of the guards. They were both on the wing. When he looked, he realized he couldn't make a play and touched it with 2 hands.
Askew. Tough shot tipped in by Irvin Johnson. And 1 second remains here in the first half. James won't get it away. He was fouled right out in front of us, but there was no call. There was no official on this side that could possibly have seen it. He got fouled on the play, but they're going to let it go, and that'll end the first half. So we played a half. Not bad. Portland 56, Seattle 54 before a quiet crowd.
Earning your trust by your area BP station. BP on the move throughout Oregon. By Cellular One, featuring the Northwest's only digital cellular network. Imagine no limits. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
All right, we're back here at halftime. I don't know what I'm laughing about. You're hurting me. You know, you're putting the hurt on me tonight.
I think it's just that you're so full of yourself and so joyous to see the Trailblazers up when maybe you expected something else. Portland has played a very competitive half once again. We've gotten 6 good halves out of the Trailblazers, Eddie, and as we take a look at the highlights, you know what the Sonics can do in an open court. They can hurt you big time. They can bring the spectacular in Sean Kemp, and he started that first quarter in a very spectacular way.
He was very, very strong. First quarter, 13.17 for the half.
The Trailblazers wanted to get Otis Thorpe involved in the game. He did too, trying to squeeze on off in a crowd. Gets a gentle bounce, but Otis...
A half, but trailed by 2. Portland 56, Seattle 54.
Not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA. It's what you want. By Bank of America. We're proud to be one of the sponsors of this Trailblazers game. Banking on America. Bank of America. By Red Dog. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. This is Red Dog territory. By Fred Meyer Stores. Value for your time and money. You'll find it at Fred Meyer. By Portland Metro Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Horizon Air. Now with shuttle flights to Spokane every hour.
Sitting next to somebody important. You know, I've been stuck with that Stiff Jones for a while. Peter Jacobson, congratulations. What a weekend. What a couple of weekends you've had. The Buick Open, the most recent one.
Well, thanks, Eddie. This is pretty exciting. This right here was about a 6-inch putt for birdie on the last hole. And watch this. Looks like Greg Maddox right there. It's been a wonderful 2 weeks, and I have to admit that hard work does pay off. I've been working hard on my game, on my body. Right here, I was going to get divorced if I threw my wife in the lake.
I was kind of hoping.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been, I would have had to given up all of that winner's check, not just half of it to my wife if I'd thrown her in the lake. But we had a wonderful birthday party yesterday for Jan. She turned 40, and she's been a big part of my life, so there's no way I was going to miss that.
So this is the reason why you didn't go on to the Hope this week? You wanted to stay here this week with family?
Yes. Yeah, the one thing that you can't do what we do out here on the tour or even in the NBA without support at home. And she's been a big, as I said, a big part of my life, and so have my kids. And they let me go play every once in a while, but I got to be home at the important times.
Priorities, and I admire you for that. Now, the Fred Meyer Challenge coming up this summer. You got some big names coming out?
Got some big names coming up. It's our 10th year, and everybody says, what are you going to do different? We're not going to do anything different. It's going well, and I think everyone will have a good time.
This is a good one. Peter Jacobson. Be proud of him. He's one of your own. He's won 2 big ones this year. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Eddie.
All right, we'll be back in 30. Blazers by a pair.
If you couldn't dream a touchdown, what will you dream? What if you did something? What if you cleaned up an old ball field or put up a new rim? What if there were no sports? Would I still be your hero?
I love those folks from Cellular One, and here are the numbers in the first half. The snapper getting set to get back in harness, but Kemp was terrific, as you can see. James Robinson, ooh, nice first half for him. Shrimp, big-time rebounder, not a lot, but Buck Williams with 7 showing the way. And on the numbers as far as the teams are concerned, anything there stick out that really impresses you, Steve?
Well, maybe it's good that the Sonics are shooting 53% because the last couple of ball games when Portland's been up, they have fallen down. But Portland's bench has come in and given them a terrific shot in the arm. And Buck Williams on the offensive glass, that has been the story. So they have an advantage by 2, and this is 6 very good quarters. And first half they played against the Sonics. You count the 2 up there in Tacoma. Now we'll find out whether the third quarter here is a difference. That has been the quarter that's beaten him, and I'm sure that George Karl has told his team, guys, now this is the time when we take control of the ball game, and I'm certain that PJ has reminded his team that they've lost the ball game, both of them, in the third quarter.
And let's remember also that this is a very good 3-point shooting team. The last time these 2 teams played, Seattle had 12 3-pointers, 12 of them. So they'll arch that 3 if they get in trouble, and here's the first. And one of their better ones, Sam Perkins, misses, and the Blazers with a 2-point lead are underway. James and Rod. James for a tray. He's got his 4th. James Robinson, Buck Williams, Chris Dudley, Cliff Robinson, and Rod Strickland for Portland. Peyton, Perkins, Detlef Schrempf, Kendall Gill, and Sean Kemp for the guys in green and gold. Kemp looks for the pick and slip. Perkins wasn't working toward the rack. That's Kemp on Dudley. Blocked by Dudley. Oh, my goodness gracious. 59-54. James Robinson trying to fill some big sneakers left by Clyde and doing a good job so far here tonight. He's got 18.
James Robinson has always been a great offensive player, but he's improved because he's been working on the flaws of his jump shot, which have been to fade. Now he goes straight up. He's releasing the ball at the top of his jump, getting some great results. Shrimp.
No look inside. Perkins, goaltended by Dudley. Dudley's playing like he's on a trampoline. The man with the steel-toed sneakers.
Now, Dudley's been able to play. This is really the first time that Dudley's been able to put some minutes against the Sonics this season. Chased that one, but was too late.
Strickland.
And this is the tactic that worked for them in other third quarters, doubling the ball and then Portland not being aggressive and taking the ball to the rim. Foul Detlef Schrempf on the Cliff Robinson drive.
That's one. Let's see. What is that? That's 2 on him.
This is one of the things that Cliff can do very well and should really add a greater dimension to his game. But he's got to consciously force himself to drive the ball to the basket. Some big numbers against the Sonics.
Hey, by the way, don't forget now, play that Miller Genuine Draft Blazer Mania game with a chance to win a trip to see the Blazers on the road. Details in the game piece of your favorite restaurant, lounge, or tavern. I hope you got that number. You got it up there, but I didn't even see it. But there it was.
772, Eddie.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for backing me up.
Marv would have had it.
Yes.
Trying to overpower, and does, Kendall Gill against James Robinson.
61-58, Trailblazer lead 3. 10:07 in the third. Buck swings it to Cliff. Fairly silent, but now answers with a quick 2. And Cliff now with only 6 points in the game.
Remember Phoenix, he was in foul trouble, only had 4 at the intermission, erupted for a big third quarter to help Portland push the lead. Do they get the steal? No.
No, Payton with the quick hands and the quick legs. And down Broadway with a scoop shot.
Nice freezing finger roll. Dudley couldn't get off his feet, didn't know what he was going to do. When he reacted, he was taking it out of the basket.
63-60, Portland. Cliff forcing and missing everything. There's Payton. Payton to Perkins.
Now the Trailblazers a little slow taking advantage of the transition. Buck finally gets there. They're going to call an offensive foul against Dudley.
But you got to score the hoop, I think.
Took it away.
They took it away. 63-60, and Chris Dudley with his first foul of the ball game.
And that was a football play, trying to give Buck a screen and hold the man, and he did, but he got caught.
And there's a little commotion in the crowd over there around Paul Allen's section. It appears that Paul's mom may have a slight problem. They've called the Blazer trainer over to her, Jay Jensen, as she's being helped to her feet right now. She seems to be all right. There it is. Paul Allen to the left, Jay Jensen in the foreground, and Paul's mom being assisted by her son. Well, hopefully she's a delightful lady, and hopefully she's going to be all right.
Well, he got a technical foul. Shrimp cashes in.
(63-61). Blazers, and on the miss by Payton. Here comes Portland. James again. That's 5 threes on James Robinson. On the illegal defense, you get the technical foul, and now the Sonics trying to come back. But James Robinson has been smoking with the three-point shot. 66-61 Portland. Five threes for James already, Steve. I'm looking at these numbers. That's a career high, I believe. The three-point shots outside his tie. Not going to help me out, huh? He said, I'm down here in the mud. Sean Kemp. (66-63). Trailblazers by 3. Strickland. And he is fouled by Sam Perkins.
Sam Perkins is
Rod not moving quite as quickly as he did in the Phoenix game, but trying to get a foul here and successfully gets the whistle in his favor. Sam Perkins looked over and said, "Can't be a foul on me. I mean, he threw that thing into me."
67-63, and 1 week from tomorrow, Pandemonium. Well, that ought to be some fun right here, and of course we'll all be available for that. You want to come over and Steve, you be around for that? Or are you out of town? I think you slipped away. Then Marv's calling. I'll afford you a couple of your autographs. I have to be down there, Steve, so we'll sign us a couple for you. Sean Kemp on the foul. Fannie Mae Pandemonium, February 25th, a week from tomorrow. Meet the Blazers, the coaches, and there's supposed to be announcers in there, but, you know, that's kind of an afterthought. $5, and, of course, bring your friends along, and we'd love to see you. That should be a fun day. Oh, James looked away before he had possession, and then Dudley with a steal back. Oh. Here's Rod. Rod to James. He has 5 threes, ties his high. And as he gets in the air, tries to drop to Button. And a 3-second violation on Chris Dudley. And $5 for that Pandemonium. PJ will be there. See what he comes in knotted up with. And if you're under 3, you get in free.
Kemp's still in the ball game. He's got 4 personal fouls, but he wanted to play, wanted to get the ball down on the post against Dudley, and instead Payton is running a pick and roll, a play that Portland had a ton of problems with in the first half. They defended it better.
Big Duds now with 7 boards. 68-63. Trailblazers leading the board battle, and Rod Strickland with an off-balance jumper. And a 7-point Portland lead. And the crowd trying to get a little loud. Rod with a steal. Out ahead to James. James watches the trailer, takes it to the hoop and lays it in. Oh, James Robinson is putting on quite a show. He's got 23, and George Karl says, I'm going to take time down by 9.
And now, BP, big play of the game.
A Jerome Kersey big play drop.
Court open, they've got to think about this. Drive the ball, Kersey does.
The Blazers need to be an aggressive attacking team, and that's what Jerome Kersey brings to the game. Kersey's drive and land leads Portland past defending champion Houston 120-82.
That's why this play was a BP big play of the game.
70-1. They bring you the numbers, and they're good ones right now, particularly in this quarter for the Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers ignited by the guard play of Robinson and Strickland, 12 between them, throwing another 4 from Cliff Robinson, and they've gotten a big command of a third quarter, which has been a bugaboo for them in their previous 2 meetings against the Sonics. Sean Kemp still on the floor with 4, trying to get some more.
Tough boy, went way up on top and arched that little BB in the hole. 72-65. Portland leading with 6:34 to play here in the third.
Kemp is out on the floor, and he's doubling, and I think that George Karl feels that they can keep him out there as the Sonics steal the ball because he's guarding Chris Dudley. Payton converts.
James Robinson trying to get the entry pass off, and everybody's standing around, and they knock the ball away. Gill to Payton. Another steal, and that equals 2.
They're very good at the passing lane. Gill gambled and got burned. James Robinson with another 3.
Career high 6 threes for James Robinson. The Knicks beat Miami 100-91. 75-67 Portland here.
11 in the quarter, so he's backed up the second with another double-figure quarter, showing that the offensive skills he had in high school, where he averaged 40, the numbers he's got down at Alabama, they're legit. Quick pass inside, knocked out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock as Gary Payton inbound.
McMillan against James Robinson. Schrempf against Cliff Robinson. Schrempf. Hard. Kemp. Volleyball time. And James, who's made 6 of 7 outside the home run line, which ties a Blazer best for the year set by Clyde, will give the ball to Rod.
But, you know, it's been James getting the ball and going straight up when he's had a chance to have good looks. They try to dump inside, and when he was trying to make a feed, Rod Strickland really didn't cut to the hoop. And they call a foul against Strickland.
Ooh, I thought that was going to go against the Supersonics. Strickland on the foul, and so with 5:21 remaining in the third, the Blazer lead 75-67.
Buck just told him, look, I don't get many chances to make those over-the-head passes. You got to go to the basket.
McMillan, Kemp against Dudley.
Yeah, this is where, you know, Kemp creates problems for himself, and a call the foul against Dudley.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, no one likes that call. Dudley looked like he played him pretty well. But Kemp likes to take Dudley away where he thinks he can beat him just by opening up some room and moving to the basket.
Well, he had him away, but he brought the play right to Dudley. Now, Dudley puts a cap on her on the top, and the official says he gets him across the arm to see the ball, and then the hand comes down across the arm. So the good effort is taken away from him.
There he is, the Piscataway bleeder.
But Sean Kemp has an advantage. When he went out there, he had a shot. And rather than take it, he brought it into trouble. Fortunate to get the call. He's got 6 in the quarter, 23 on the night.
Dudley only has 2 fouls, in case you're concerned.
There's the cutter that we've been talking about all season long. You have to have. Buck Williams dives, and they get 2. Nice pass from Cliff.
Shrimp, good rack. Good move there, and Buck Williams takes the rebound. And nice move by Rod to get away from the defender. He was hammered from behind. Dudley over the top. There'll be a loose ball foul here against Seattle. Yes, Dudley was right there. Rod got hit prior to that, and they never called it. And now we're getting the call against Detlef Schrempf, who has 3, and they have 4 as a team with 4:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
But you see, when you play aggressive basketball, good things happen for you. Portland, like they did it down in Phoenix, have moved the ball and moved people, and when they've done it, they've had good things happen.
James,
tough play inside.
Makes a mistake when he gets hung up in the air and tries to make the play.
We're going to get another call here. This one, I think, is against Sam Perkins, so Portland is going to be shooting free throws. They get bailed out as James comes in, wasn't sure what to do, and Strickland trying to pick the ball up. Oh,
they got a break.
That's one where, Sam Perkins is saying, look, we were both reaching for the ball.
That's what George is saying, too. George Carl. Rod will get a deuce, a 1 and a 1. A 77-69. Almost a good way to get into a song, isn't it? And Gary Payton's got a technical. Gary Payton, a technical. Rod will go to the line. Here's the other thing, Steve. When you lose Clyde, you take a bad free throw team, Portland, and make them a little worse. He was their best free throw shooter. You got Rod, who's, of the guys that play a lot, the next best at 74%.
Well, they have a really great career free thrower returning in Terry Porter. But Porter's got to, get back into the game and get some minutes in order for his free throwing to have some impact. Rod may knock down all 3 and give himself a little push here. But Portland has dominated this 3rd period.
And moved by 11. That's their biggest lead of the ball game. We have 4:16 to play in the 3rd. Macmillan.
But defensively, this has been Portland's best quarter. Schrempf gets open and nails a 3.
Now, they had a nice screen set for Schrempf, too. You don't make one of those, you're embarrassed because it was so wide open off the screen. But he didn't miss.
Now they double. This is a tactic that worked so well. And the reason it worked so well was Portland wasn't centering the ball, or they were getting it into the wrong person's hands. Buck Williams struggled to get it free. Now they're fighting the clock at 6.
Cliff wants to launch, and he does. It's a tough shot over a 6'10" defender. Ooh, tough for Cliff, and he comes up with it to get the Blazers back on top by 10. 82-72. Here's Schrempf. Dudley knocked it away, but it's picked up inside by Perkins on a broken play. 82-74. Orlando clubbed Philadelphia 129-83 tonight. That's where they take you out behind the
again the double team. And see, the guy that they have in the middle and trying to make the plays is Buck. He gets down when they go. So that may be the omen of the night right there. Buck on a fade. Got 18 in the ball game.
Hasn't made one of those since he was a freshman at Maryland. Inside they go. Perkins.
Ooh,
nice.
The long arm of Perkins. The left hand underneath.
84-76. Got that wingspan like a 747. Long arm.
Here comes Perkins again.
Kick. Get the ball back to Portland. We'll have a timeout before. 2:36 in the 3rd. The Blazers by 8. Now we have our Payless Drugstores first to the 4th. And tonight, Tracy Davis from Lake Oswego is pulling for Cliff Robinson with $1,250 big dollars on the line. Payless Drugstores first to the 4th, and Cliff is the man tonight. You know what happens here tomorrow? Globetrotters are in town. And Daryl Dawkins is a member of the Trotters these days. Old Chocolate Thunder. Here we go with Otis Thorpe in the lineup with Cliff Robinson, Chris Dudley. Terry Porter is also in with Rod Strickland for the Blazers. They double Rod. There's Thorpe. And an illegal defense called against the Seattle Supersonics. Detlef Schrempf, I believe, wasn't it, Steve?
Call Nate McMillan on the other side. whatever it is, whoever it was, it gets the Trailblazers a chance to shoot a free throw.
And the Blazers doing a nice job from the foul line tonight. 21 of 23, which is a large departure from the game the other night against Phoenix, when the Suns made 20 more free throws than the Blazers and had 19 more free throws attempted. The Blazers did not shoot the ball well. 16 of 28, 57% at the line on Wednesday. Different story. And now they turn the ball over.
Now that's the kind of decision-making that they had that caused them to unravel against Phoenix. Right there, Cliff was crab dribbling across the floor. Really had no idea what he wanted to do, trying to enter the ball to Dudley. They turn it over.
They run a tight curl, and the Blazers steal it. Terry Porter. Terry getting a little indoctrination, tried the cross-court pass, and there's the long arm of Perkins again. Askew on Terry, and Terry with a foul. I asked you if he wanted to make a pass, he waited a little long to do it. And Terry was able to come over there and defend, but he fouled him.
Porter has been very good at anticipating, and he thought he had that ball timed. Didn't quite do it. Askew goes to the line for the first time tonight.
Oh, rather silent Kendall Gill. We've not seen or heard much from him tonight. He only had 6 points in their last game, and Gill tonight has been silent with 6 again. As Askew at the foul line makes the first, and the Blazer lead is 85-77. Going to come to see Darryl Dawkins tomorrow with the Globetrotters?
Yeah, he's got on a special outfit.
What is it called?
Reminds you of Robin Hood and Men in Tights, so you make sure that you get out here.
I have to come and see that. 85-78. Here's the double. They pick him up a little early. They go to Terry.
And see, normally they want to center the ball. Right now they don't have a guy in the middle where they can have a passer. Cliff leans inside.
Misses. Tries again. Misses it. Close range. He's shoved, and there'll be a foul call. Yes, there will be a foul call. He was shoved. It was interesting, Steve, because they're doubling everybody except when it goes to Dudley, and they're inviting him to shoot the ball. So the Blazers will get an opportunity to go to the foul line here.
Cliff chased his own miss, and right here, he put the wrong English on it. And it fortunately came back to him. So he'll get a chance for a couple of free throws. Getting a little bit into it here in the third quarter of play. He only had 2 points in the first half. Now he has 7 in the quarter.
He's struggling. Our next game will be the Lakers on Sunday for the Blazers, and that will be a radio game only on KEX 1190. Cliff with a pair. Blazers 87-78 by 9. We're late in the third, 1:29 to play in it. Little cut to the hoop, and Askew, after a fashion, comes up with it. Otis Thorpe has him. And Thorpe backs right into Chris Dudley.
Going to call a foul against Otis Thorpe. Reached in. You know, he had him covered right there. That was going to be a tough leaner for Askew to knock down. And the temptation of making a play on the ball too great. So it's the third personal foul against OT.
If you joined us late, Terry Porter was activated today. James Edwards was put on the injured list with gastritis. Otis Thorpe, in his first appearance in a Blazer uniform, apparently the shoulder that was of concern is okay. And on our Cellular One Fast Bat look last night, or the last meeting.
Well, you talked about the 12. Well, I know, you got the glasses on, your eyes are tired, but it was 12.
Looked like a Chinese menu to me.
12 three-point field goals that they made in that last game. They are 3 of 5 tonight, so they're shooting a good percentage. They just haven't gotten as many in the air. And Portland's got to take better care of the basketball. One of the strengths of the Sonics is stealing the ball. They got 3 guys that play the passing lane extremely well. Nate McMillan, who just got a piece of that one, Gary Payton, and Kendall Gill.
Okay, 8-point or 7-point lead right now.
So you can't throw long cross-court passes and not think that you're not going to be in trouble with the Sonics. Rod Strickland getting beat pretty good.
That's what they work on with the kids. That tough shot behind the backboard and rainbow it up over the tall arms. But Rod Strickland made it work in a game, and the Blazer lead 9. Askew. Taken away, pulled out of there by Dudley. Knocked away by Thorpe. So Otis Thorpe His first game in a Blazer uniform. Porter for three. And you gotta love that. 92-80, their biggest lead of the game with a half a minute in the third remaining. Watch out, Payton tries to break down his man. Draws the double, back to Shrimp. Payton, Askew, got a lot of three shooters. Very clever team. Good spacing. Get it back to within 10.
Good defensive effort that time by Portland. They kept all of the Sonics in front of them and made Askew come up with a tough shot. Cliff with a chance to close the Porter out.
Cliff
got hit.
He got hit, no foul, and he irons the shot, and that's going to end the third quarter. After three, Trailblazers 92, Seattle Supersonics 82.
By Red Dog. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. This is Red Dog territory. By Fred Meyer Stores. Value for your time and money. You'll find it at Fred Meyer. And by Portland Metro Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me.
Jerome Kersey is going to start this quarter. The Blazers leading at 92-82. Jerome with James, Chris Dudley, Terry Porter, and Otis Thorpe. And for Seattle, it'll be Gary Payton and Nate McMillan at the guards. Irvin Johnson, Sean Kemp, and Vincent Askew to round out their five.
And they leave a side open for James Robinson. And now they come back to Thorpe inside.
A little bit short, but a nice strong move inside. Here come the Sonics. McMillan, Payton, Askew. Down to Kemp on Dudley. Dudley with two fouls. Backdoor blocked by Dudley. Kemp on the reload. Rebound by Johnson. Ball loose. Foul call. Loose ball foul called on James Robinson. Blazers shot 65% in the third quarter.
Sean Kemp finding that you can't show the ball to Dudley too soon, and every time he has, Dudley's picked it off. So in a one-on-one situation where Kemp badly wants to get the big edge, he has been neutralized by Dudley. Askew trying to just overpower people, but that one won't stay.
And out of there it comes. Terry Porter testing that hobbled ankle. There's James. They work against the double. And Seattle is all over Portland with that double-up defense. Down to Thorpe. He takes a double. Back to Jerome. It's off.
Should have come back in one more time. I don't think that Otis Thorpe realized he had second-year man Irvin Johnson on his hip. Could have gotten the ball again and reestablished and probably gotten a good score inside.
Remember, we're playing our Payless Drugstore's first to the fourth. And Cliff Robinson's not in there, Steve, so you have to pick somebody for us. As Nate McMillan comes up with a two. And the Blazers now leading 92-84. We have Tracy Davis and Lake Oswego, hoping that Cliff would shoot the shot.
Well, let's go with Brother James. James Robinson has been the leading scorer for the Trailblazers tonight, hot hand. And with this group that's out there on the floor, he's most likely to me to get it up and down.
All right, let's see what happens. Terry Porter, crossover, defended by McMillan, a good defenseman. Terry Porter. All over the iron. There'll be a loose ball foul called against the Portland Trailblazers. Dudley has three. Dudley can't believe the call by Woody. What do they charge him? They give it to Dudley?
Dudley with three. Dudley certainly wasn't expected to come back with 17 points, but he's had a strong defensive effort and has stayed in the ball game. In the other Sonics games, he was not able to stay in. He's been around. He's had an effect for the Trailblazers at the defensive end, but Portland can't allow themselves to stall as they did against the Phoenix Suns. Shot pocket four.
Pretty good ball movement by the Sonics, and they cough one up. And the Blazers come out of there with it. We're looking for James Robinson for our Payless Drugstore's first of the fourth. The Blazers have yet to score here in the fourth quarter. Here's Otis. And Otis is fouled in deep by Irvin Johnson.
It may cost Tracy Davis $1,200, but the play should be back to Otis Thorpe. He's got a young, inexperienced player defending him down on the post. So you want to come back inside, turnover, and Portland gets it back. Peyton couldn't control.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on these turnovers because they do become very important now. The Blazers have 15 turnovers in the game, Seattle 14. Remember, I told you they force the opponent to turn it over about 19 times a game.
There's Thorpe right at the basket.
Very strong. So Tracy Davis, I know that you're disappointed you didn't get your 12.50 for Payless Drugstores first to the fourth. But, hey, Otis Thorpe gets a nice little field goal, and the Blazers come back and try to defend Peyton, who comes in with 2. And so we're 94-86 now. The Trailblazers with a lead.
They're showing pressure, and Portland can't allow this to happen. They're getting beat to the ball. Their passes are getting a little bit shorter. They call a foul. This one,
small foul,
Otis Thorpe. So Thorpe picks up his 4th personal foul. Terry Porter got trapped. No one came to him. He knew where he wanted to throw the ball, and when he jumped up, the ball got deflected. That's what put Thorpe in problems trying to get there. He's got 4. Buck Williams trying to get to the scorer's table. So they let him in, Thorpe or Dudley. Dudley sits down.
I want to remind you that Tracy Davis will receive a couple of tickets to a Blazer game and a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Payless Drugstores. 94-86, the Blazers with 9 minutes to play in the game.
Thorpe comes in to be the man in the middle, and Askew is right in the middle with 2 more points. Askew has hurt Portland in the past, starting to get a little rhythm. He's got 8. Been quiet so far.
Thorpe trying to fit in right now, a little bit uncomfortable, and they get a lot better. There's Terry for 3. Buck Williams with a rebound, so Buck and Otis playing together. Terry again, it's short.
You know, Porter is going to feel it in the leg. Game conditions are certainly different than practice conditions, and that last shot was a one that was leg weary. Portland is fortunate to get it back, but they don't want to become perimeter happy. Yeah, Terry can knock down the 3, but if he's a little tired, step in, take the cheap 2.
6-point Blazer lead. 8.5 to play in the game.
Trying to reestablish Thorpe, and couldn't get the ball inside to him. Now they find him at the post. They call it travel.
They doubled him very nicely. They brought him from the weak side, and the Blazers almost too predictable with what they're trying to do here as they're trying to get the ball down to Thorpe to try and get him down on that young kid, but he got help, and they forced the turnover off the travel. That's the 17th Trailblazer turnover.
Well, now they're coming back to Askew against James Robinson. They feel that that's the play that's going to get them back in the ball game because Robinson has a real tough time defending down on the post.
14th foul.
They give the ball to Askew and let him just break James Robinson down, and see James reaches out and gets him across the arm. Right here, James is beaten, and instead of continuing to move his feet, he decides he's going to try to make a play on the ball. Missed it.
So Askew, with his team trailing by 6, tries to cut the gap and misses the first. Vincent Askew, who labored and was the CBA Player of the Year a couple of times, picked up by Don Nelson in Golden State. And Askew, a 77% free throw shooter, makes the second. 94-89. 8:09 to play here in the ball game in regulation time.
See, they're trapping every time down. That's now, you mean you got to pass the basketball, you got to cut. Portland cannot afford to try to dribble a basketball against them. Buck Williams.
Big tip as Jerome trying to create off the dribble, and the Blazer lead is 7.
20 points for Buck Williams, a big bonus.
And a foul by Buck Williams. He dropped down to help out on the base. They're trying to get help for James, realizing he's mismatched size-wise. So Buck picks up 3, and the Blazers are over the foul limit.
The only way that you can help James Robinson in this position is to really get after the guy with the ball. Make it tough for him to find Vincent Askew. Askew's been able to get down on the post too easily and receive the ball.
7:44 to play, and the Blazers now over the foul limit, while Seattle has only 1 team foul, and Askew makes the first of 2. He was a little unhappy earlier this year. He kind of balked and went AWOL, but very quickly recognized that that paycheck was a pretty one and came back into his senses, apologized, and has been modeled, I believe, since then. 96-91.
Again, they're showing track. That means you got to center the basketball. Porter's trying to go on the drive.
And Jerome on a delay up the base, and they had to drop off the double, and they picked up Jerome and hammered him. And only their second team foul.
Kemp picks up his 5th personal foul. Jerome Kersey coming hard to the rim. Kemp got him high and across the arm, but George Karl is leaving him out on the floor. Kemp and Jimmy Clark looking at the big board. No miss on that one, Sean.
96-91. 7:34 to play in the game. And Jerome misses the first. And George Karl a little lathered on that Seattle bench. Tie undone. Sport coat askew. Jerome makes the second. Kersey, an 83% shooter at the line.
7 points in the ball game for Jerome Kersey, but right now, Sonics got a little bit of game plan and rhythm in how to control Portland. They get Kersey on the foul on the curl.
Well, they run that curl on either side, and they really like to run it tight and low, and it's effective. And Jerome's got his third, and they're over the limit, so they'll put Shrimp, a very good free throw shooter, at the foul line.
In order to change things, maybe Portland needs to adopt the philosophy that Seattle has. Let's go to a scatter, kind of a pressure defense, see if they can make them make some mistakes. George Karl, this is the best team that he's ever had. He thinks he can win a championship with this group.
Timeout. Blazers lead.
Think about the products you buy most often, like this one. At Fred Meyer, you'll find it priced low today, tomorrow, every day. It's just one of over 10,000 products priced this way to save you money.
The teams that have the best field goal shooting percentage, and Seattle is up near the top. They've had a real nice year statistically, and as we've mentioned a couple of times, 34-13 off that brilliant year a year ago, and last year at this time they were 36-11. Here's what it is tonight. They're at 54%, Blazers at 49%, so both teams shooting above what they normally would shoot for a game.
You have to like the way the Trailblazers have shot the basketball in this ball game.
There's Paul Allen's mom, and we have no idea exactly what happened, but she's been taken care of, and she is back in action. She's a gamer. On the missed free throw. Oh, that's a little bit of a surprise. Shrimp misses one. 97-91. Detlef Shrimp. Buck. Nice move by Buck Williams. He's had the night tonight. Buck Williams with 22 points. He has been terrific. 99-91. Under 7 to play in the game.
Now they pressure the ball a little bit more, and when they do that, they got a chance. Buck Williams trying to hustle back, picks up the foul. Shrimp will go to the line.
The Blazers are getting hurt now because they have been over the penalty for some time, or in the bonus situation, and Seattle's taking advantage of it every time down. They're powering it in, trying to draw the foul and get this trip to the foul line. And here's Detlef Shrimp. Detlef is 3 for 7 at the line tonight.
And that's a rare night for Shrimp. He's an 80-plus career free thrower. 84 on this season.
He makes both of these, and a moment ago you saw the numbers under Buck Williams, and that's a rare night for him. He can come up with 20-plus points to go along with what he usually gives you, double number rebound.
Now pass and cut, that should be the order of the day. Buck going all the way, thought he was going to get a call.
Saved by Perkins. Up to Payton. 6-point ball game. Oh boy. He's a good shooter. Kemp. And on the base over Buck. It's 99-95.
The crowd nervous, and they remember the last game against the Phoenix Suns, of which Portland had a lead, and then suddenly broke down in the fourth quarter not to win it. Thorpe can't trying to get it back up, will get a foul, and maybe it for Sean Kemp. No, they give that one to Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan. Oh, we haven't seen Cliff Robinson for a long time, but Cliff has had a rough time tonight, quite frankly. He's had 10 points and 3 for 12 from the floor to go with 4 rebounds. So They've sat him down for some time, and this is a luxury that they can afford to now. You got an extra big man, and Otis Thorpe, he'll go to the line.
Well, you know, the luxury of sitting in those front row seats is you get a great view. Every now and then, you're running into a big body. That's what happened with Faye Allen. Sam Perkins fell on her and broke her wrist. Thorpe, he has been a tremendously durable player. One time had a streak of plus 500 games. Comes up with 1 of 2.
He's only a 53% shooter, but you saw the numbers and some of the credentials he brings with him while he was shooting the free throws. It's very impressive. Yeah, a nice resume. Perkins on the miss, but the tip is right there. Gary Payton. Boy.
Payton is below that barometer, which tells the Sonics that they're going to win. He's only got 14 in the game. They like to see him at 20, trying to work his way there. He's got 5 minutes to do so. Porter trying to beat the defense off the dribble, but now Porter's got to get back to passing and cutting. Strickland coming to the rim.
Very strong move with Payton hanging all over him, and Rod gets it back to a 5-point lead. Shrimp. Well, Kukoc had 33 for Chicago tonight. Been waiting for one of those nights. Down to Payton, strong move, get you inside, just scoops it up. Nothing real fancy, but very effective with 16 points. 102 to 99, 5 minutes to play. Almost coming down to the 5 mark. Cliff Robinson will be coming on soon, too. And Otis Thorpe with a strong rebound putback. 104-99. Off of Payton, here comes Rod. Blazers with a man advantage. Porter, step around. Saved by Perkins, pressured McMillan. Here they come. And Jerome all over Perkins. And Kemp with a jam.
Kersey a couple of times almost making a play, had to steal, lost control of it, it turned into a jam, and Sean Kemp thought he got fouled.
That's our next cable game. That's Friday against Stockton, Malone, and the Jazz, and they are good. Boy, are they good. 7 o'clock. Don't forget to join us on Blazer Cable. Order your pay-per-view. Call your cable company. And we had regularly scheduled a game against Golden State on the 22nd, but we've rubbed that one out because of a network conflict with a miniseries. Golden State has been dropped from the schedule, so you can add the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday, April 22nd, a 7:30 game, and we'll have that one for you. So we drop Golden State on the 22nd of February, pick up the Lakers on April 22nd. Don't misread your schedule because we've told you exactly what it is. And an offensive foul called against Jerome Kersey. And a 3-point lead, which is very much in jeopardy right now with a little over 4 to play.
Jerome Kersey trying to get by the long arms of Sam Perkins. They say he wiped him off. Late call. Kersey didn't agree.
Seattle really trying to open it up with 2 men outside the top of the 3-point circle on the right. Now they open it up. Here's Shrimp. Good spot up. Perkins to top. And Kersey with a rebound. Terry on the wing trailing. Rod in the middle on the break. Land to the Giants. Stripped on the way up. And the Blazers get it back. Buck Williams, Terry Porter, Rod Strickland, Jerome Kersey, and Cliff Robinson. They have Payton and Shrimp. They've got Perkins, Kemp, and Askew.
Sliding this one in, but Rod really never had a chance to get himself set. Now they get a mismatch. They should clear side and let Rod Strickland go.
Here's Cliff. Boy, they got to get him some shots. And Jerome is fouled on the play. Well, that puts them at 14 fouls, so they're out of free ones. But they've had an advantage over the Blazers for some time.
They call a flagrant foul, and all of the Sonics jump.
Ooh. And a technical foul called on Perkins to boot. Well, the Blazers are going to get some shots and retention of the ball here. And George Karl very passively on the Sonics bench watching this one with a slight look of amusement on his face. There he is in the background.
Perkins hot, and you know, he rarely loses his cool and gets a technical Bob Strickland misses that technical.
So now Jerome will go to the line as Rod, a 74% shooter. Jerome hasn't had that many trips to the line, although his percentage is better than Rod's at 83%. And that's the coach's call. PJ put Rod at the line. Jerome makes the first. Askew is talking to Jerome while he's at the line, trying to rattle him a little bit. And Jerome turns around and gives him that look like, get out of here. And Jerome drops the deuce. 106 to 101. And you get retention of the ball, as I mentioned.
5-point lead. And down the stretch, Portland really wants to be aggressive in establishing a go-to guy or a go-to play. They didn't have it against the Phoenix Suns. Let's see in 48 hours whether they picked up one. Clearing aside for Strickland. Went with the left hand.
And they don't take advantage. Here's Payton. Block shot, Jerome, foul. He thought he had it. He thought he had it. And so did the crowd down on the baseline. That's 5 on Jerome.
In a chase, no one's better than Jerome Kersey. Look at the ground that he'll cover to make up the ground. But they end up with Gary Payton on the line. He misses the first.
And the second, and Rod's got it. And now we're down to 3:10. The Blazers have 2 timeouts in the 20. The Sonics have 4 in a 20 remaining. 106 to 101. Under 3 remaining, and there's the double. Buck. Oh, my. A clean opportunity with one man in the middle to defend, and the Blazers don't get it. And the lead at 5. And Shrimp goes up a little early on the finger roll. And here's Rod. He beats Payton's attempt for a steal in the back.
They got to go right now. So they had a man advantage, and now they pulled it back, and they really had trouble getting the ball in the basket against an aggressive Sonic defense trying to post up Cliff Robinson.
There's another steal, but Terry steals it right back. Your 3. Hey! Hit one.
Time play, one that's been in Terry Porter's arsenal for years. Picked up that ball on a scramble, nailed the 3. Porter says, welcome back.
And Mrs. Allen, a natural right-hander, raises the left.
That's an 8-point game with 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play out of the timeout. And what you want the Sonics shots to be is all under pressure. Perkins going for 3.
They'll fire up those 3s. And remember, Gary Payton has an arsenal all of his own. He had 14 for 14 one game about a month ago. And Cliff and the Blazers are going to just stall it out.
You don't want to stall it out. You got to take the shot when it's there. Can't afford to pass up a scoring chance. Buck Williams, huge games tonight. 24 points for Buck.
The Sonics with Shrimp on the drive, on the travel, deflected, knocked out of bounds. Portland by 10 with 1.5 to play. Will they come up with a big win tonight here? In the new era, the first game of Terry's return and Otis Thorpe for the Blazer uniform. And there will be a shoving foul underneath, and this will go against Portland. Buck Williams on the foul. That's number 5 on Buck. But what an evening he has had. 24 points and 12 rebounds for Buck Williams.
So according to you, they should make a trade for a power forward every day, and then we get the fountain of youth from Buck Williams.
Did you say, did I say that? I think that Otis Thorpe has given him a, yeah, I mean, look, a little injection, a little infusion. I think that's what I said. But, yeah, I get not a bad idea. Buck has come to play tonight. 111 to 102.
Buck on the push, he picks up the foul. 1:23 to go. You know, the Sonics know that they're fighting the clock. The Trailblazers want to use some time, but they want to be aggressive in attacking the Sonics. The Sonics want to try to steal the ball. They want to force a turnover.
Jerome, but this group out there has done a nice job. Terry Porter with 8 points on the base. Yep, no, Jerome keeps it live, but Blazers have done a wonderful job on the boards, 42-25, and that's really been what's done the job for them. And they keep the ball alive. Does Seattle out of bounds? They'll give it to the Sonics, and we are under a minute to play. Rebounding has been a big factor in this game tonight. It is so far. Portland, yeah, tonight. Nice job for the Trailblazers here tonight. He and the rest of his teammates will be at Pandemonium a week from tomorrow. You might want to come down and meet the players, the coaches, a few other folks. That's going to be right here at the Coliseum. That'll be a fun day. It is at the Coliseum, I believe. 111-102. And tomorrow, the Globetrotters right here with Daryl Dawkins. Pandemonium is at the Convention Center now. It's on right across the street. So, got some big things planned the next couple Saturdays. Askew. Chip kept live. Kemp. And he will score, but not enough to make up the difference on the boards. And the Blazers have a 15-rebound advantage right now.
Sonics looking for the Trailblazers to make some mistakes, and all Portland wants to do is use the clock, control the ball, cut to the basket. There's a cheap basket to be had right here. The Sonics make a steal. Cliff.
Right this way, but Porter comes back. There's Jerome. Nutty. 113-104 with 17 seconds remaining in the game.
A couple of crowd favorites, Kersey and Porter, doing what they've done best for many years. Sam Perkins on a line drive, but the Trailblazers have this one in hand. 12.2 seconds left in the game. They get a touch foul.
And need I remind you again that this Seattle team, a technical foul has just been called here in the game on Cliff Robinson. What for?
Well, Cliff got knocked down over here, and he's kicking Cliff out of the game. You know, he looked at him. Not a good decision by Cliff. He's out of the game, but you don't want to get ejected.
It's $1,000. 2 techs.
Portland ejection.
You don't have to have 2 technicals, incidentally, to get ejected. They can eject you on 1 if they think it's offensive enough. But he'll go bye-bye, and that'll cost him $1,000. And the Blazers now with 7.7 seconds remaining.
And these are the kind of mistakes you need to eliminate. So here you are. You're going to shoot 2 free throws. At your end of the floor, the clock is stopped. Cliff says something. This gives them 2 free throws back the other way.
2 free throws in a 7-point ball game.
Now you'll see the play that Cliff is going to complain about. Now he comes right here and gets knocked down right in front of us. Now he's looking for a call. No call on the play. This combined with not having a real strong game. So the emotions of Cliff Robinson get away from him. Askew got one of the 2.
Here's your Blazer Mania number, by the way, 772. You can win that trip to see the Blazers on the road. Pick up your game piece at your favorite restaurant, lounge, or town. 113-107. Terry missing the first and makes the second. A 7-point lead against the team that had won 27 of 35 coming in and 10 of the last 11 on the road. They had a 10-game road winning streak broken 2 nights ago in Los Angeles against the Lakers. And the Blazers look like they're going to tag this team for the first time in the last 7 games. They had lost 6 straight games to Seattle. And now with 7.7 seconds to play, it looks like they're going to wrap this baby up and go away a happy crowd.
About 3.5 quarters was good enough to get this one done. They had played 3 very strong quarters, broke down through much of the 4th, but had enough of a lead and some big plays at the right time to come up with a win. So they will get their first win without Clyde Drexler, and their first win here after the All-Star break, which is important as they try to start building some confidence and momentum because right now they have the 8th spot in a playoff.
And of course the Lakers radio only on Saturday, Minnesota Tuesday radio only, and Wednesday at Golden State, which was to have been televised, but canceled because of network commitments for a miniseries. Also canceled all radio-only games, the next 3. Our next telecast will be on the Blazer Cable Network next Friday against the Utah Jazz, a 7 o'clock start. Call your local cable company for information on that one. 114 to 107 is what we have right here. Tomorrow the Trotters are here. There are plenty of tickets available. Those guys might even stick around and make an appearance, even though I think by now they got the idea they better take that garbage off.
They're Sonics fans. They'll be Sonics fans till the end. The Trailblazers now win this ball game. Certainly, they played an outstanding game against the Lakers. And with this one and the positive effort they had out on the road against Phoenix, they may think, hey, we got something going now. Peyton knows that this is going to be a gimme, and he takes advantage of that. 8 1/4 for Peyton, 20 on the night, but it won't be the 20 that wins it, and this one's over.
It's over, and despite 30 points by Sean Kemp, the Trailblazers are too much on debut night for Otis Thorpe and the return of Terry Porter, and Portland wins it 114 to 109. It is good news for the Blazers tonight. They finally get a shot at the Seattle Supersonics and hang on. They win this one 114 to 109 thanks to a flagrant and a technical foul call late against Sam Perkins. They capitalized, and then Terry Porter splashes a nice 3 with 2:15 left to make it 109 to 101, and the Blazers win it by a total of 5. Well, we want to remind you that lots of thanks go out as usual, and if you're out there tonight, the Miller Brewing Company wants you to think when you drink.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Payless Drugstores, because you deserve more from a drugstore. By Sprite. Tonight's Hoop Slammin' NBA action was presented by Sprite. Obey your thirst. Sprite. By GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together. By your area BP station. BP, on the move throughout Oregon. By Cellular One, featuring the Northwest's only digital cellular network. Imagine no limits. And by Les Schwab Tire Centers, where their business is earning your trust. Tonight's postgame show is brought to you by your Northwest Chevrolet Geo dealers, who invite you to be part of the 100,000 Mile Club with a new 95 Chevy CK pickup. And by Georgia Pacific. Georgia Pacific, good people doing the right thing.
Well, we're back, Steve, and I think I could use a night off. I don't know how you feel.
You just got back to work now. You know, maybe it's we got to work you into it now. Get a rhythm like the Trailblazers. They finally found a rhythm and were able to play a solid 4-quarter game against the Sonics. We'll take a look back at some of the action in that second half as Portland did a good job of moving the ball.
losses to Seattle, but tonight this was a very aggressive team that you sent out on the floor, you and the rest of the coaches, and I was impressed with the way they attacked the basket for most of this game tonight.
Well, that was the game plan. We wanted to make sure that we were the aggressors, that we weren't back on our heels, and we wanted to keep the pressure on Seattle all night, and we did that.
James Robinson, 6 threes. This kid showed you can score some points tonight.
Well, what people don't know about James Robinson is he works extremely hard on his game. He does it every day in practice, and he's really starting now to get some dividends out of it.
Well, with you cracking the whip on him and all the weights that you've been pumping, he has to be extremely dedicated.
Well, he is very dedicated. He wants to be a good ball player, and that's where it starts. He's every night he's coming out with a plan in mind, playing hard, playing aggressive, and he's been doing that for us the past 2 weeks.
All right, 3 solid quarters, and it looked like it might be a replay of Phoenix. At the top of the period, the team started standing around. What was said to try to re-energize them and get them refocused on what they were doing right?
Well, when Seattle started to give us a little bit of trouble with their trap, what we told them in the timeout was stay steady, get a man in the middle, and attack. Don't get complacent. Don't get lazy with your passes, and stay in the aggressive mode.
Yeah, he was ready to rip off that jersey himself. He's got a big S on there. He wanted this one. Johnny, we want to thank you. Congratulations, and we hope that the next time you come out, you'll be talking about a win.
Thank you very much.
And when we come back, we'll have the stats for tonight's game on our Blazer Television Network. Outfit for being our guest, Johnny Davis is going to receive a $100 gift certificate from our friends at Incredible Universe. Incredible prices, incredible selection, incredible service, incredible fun, incredible CDs. That's Incredible Universe. The Blazers tonight, Steve, 0-11 against the top 4 teams in the Western Conference. Tonight they win at impressive numbers.
Time for a change. They had 3 players in double figures. Peyton did not get to 20. That's the Sonics barometer for winning. Kemp exploded on the Trailblazers in that first period, but they did a good job from that point on. The Trailblazers, led by James Robinson in that great shooting performance, 9 of 11, 6 of 7. Buck Williams, a huge contribution, so he's got a new big 3, and all 3 of them in the 20-plus. Sean Kemp led the Sonics in rebounding. Nobody got to double figures for them. The Trailblazers saw Buck Williams with a double-double. Jerome Kersey off the bench with a big lift at a timely moment to keep Portland on the lead. The Sonics still stayed up on top, but as we said before, maybe that was better because in past when Portland shot the ball well, the percentages dropped at the wrong time. Second chance points and bench contribution, the difference in this ball game. Portland controlled the glass in a dominating way.
And don't forget our next telecast, or our next game actually, will be against the Lakers on KEX at 6:30, radio only. Our next cable cast will be the Jazz next Friday at 7 o'clock. Hope you'll join us for that. Don't forget Trotters tomorrow, Fandemonium in a week, and Steve Snapper Jones. Good job tonight.
Yes, good job by you, Eddie. I guess it was the shadow of Marv.
I think it was.
Say good night.
Blazers a win, 114-109. Good night.
Tonight's postgame show has been brought to you by Georgia Pacific. We're making sure the Northwest trees will always be here. And by your Northwest Chevrolet Geo dealers. Create your own 100,000-mile story in a new 95 Chevy S-Series pickup.
60s. The Dalles about 69 degrees for a high temperature. A chance for some light rain overnight tonight, but most of those should stay well off the coast. Showers, if at all, ending early tomorrow. We'll see lots of sunshine and looking for a high temperature of 67 degrees. A little fog in the morning, and then lots of sunshine in the afternoon. Clouds thickening up a little bit Thursday night and Friday, and some morning fog on Saturday. But basically, we're looking for warm and dry weather continuing.
What great temperatures.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we can put the long johns and studded tires into storage now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Coming up in sports, we have more trade rumors in the NBA. This time, a big name from Chicago.
And the Blazers have success against Minnesota. Ed Whalen is up next.